Good morning.
Hey, where's my video?
There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How can you actually get out of bed late and still look like you do? This is wrong. It would take me like 45 minutes. Yeah. If you've missed your alarm, you're supposed to come with like your hair like this. In England, we have mums who go to the school in these things called onesies. You know, like a one up zip up, like woolen thing with like some funny slippers, you know, and their hair like this. And you think you've just got out of bed 5 minutes ago. So, but you look great. So it's good to see you. How's your week been?
It has been very busy. And honestly, I was up late all night on the exchanges just looking at cryptos. Obviously, you can hear it in my voice, but it's been a great week. I have no complaints. How was yours?
Yeah, I was at a festival at the weekend, so I know what you mean about the voice. I was at the front, you know, come on, drinking some beer and, you know, in the mosh pit having some fun. So yeah.
Oh, that's a fun festival.
Yeah,
You
it
get
was
in the
good.
mosh pit?
Yeah, it was like they had some more like heavier guitar bands there as well. It was quite a mixture, a bit of a family affair, but some of the heaviness came on, so we could get right stuck in and like, you know, have a real good time there. So yeah, it was a lot of energy expended, and yeah, a great time. So we have a ton of things, right? Oh my god, are you gonna like take some weird stuff
See
with
if there
me?
were any memes yet. Like, did anybody make a Ben meme? I'm just gonna like.
I think what we must do a little competition, right, to start off with, which for 10 seconds you have to pull your funniest face and I have to keep my face straight.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and then you can see over the weeks if you can break me down. You might break me down today, but we have to have this little thing, and then people can obviously have that as their laughing point, right? Where can you make the ex-guardsman laugh with your funny faces? What I was going to do for you today was I was going to come on with some big stick-on brows.
Oh my
right?
god.
And I was going to say, Jenna, I need some help sorting these bad boys out, right? But no, I haven't done it. I thought I'd let you off the hook because you are obviously late out of bed. But I do have a little friend. Fun fact I didn't tell you about last week was you are currently speaking to me. I am in the Ape Inn. The Ape Inn is a bar I have at the end of my garden. And it's a crypto bar. So pretty much everything in here is crypto art related. So if I just spin you round.
I noticed you changed your background picture because it's amazing. It's the bull now.
So you
I
can
love
see
it.
the ape in, and then across the wall, we have like different apes. And if we go around this way, we can see there is like ETH and Doge and all sorts of crazy stuff going around. So I have pulled out one, which is my face to you knowing you got out of bed late. Here we go. So this is the cool DJ Ape, and he normally hangs behind the bar, but that was she's been partying too hard or up too late, and she is paying the price. So anyway, enough of that. Great week for Lumenswap, right?
Yeah.
Three exchanges. Hotbit is the latest one. They are launching or listing LSP tomorrow. We had L-Bank a couple of days ago now. I've just done an AMA with them. So if you're watching this and you weren't aware of that, you can hop back across to the Telegram of L-Bank's official English channel. Scroll back up and then you will see that they muted the channel there. We had an AMA that began 11 o'clock London time today. So that was pretty good, but I'm not really that great with these text AMAs. You know, when it's like they send you some questions, you can answer the questions before, then they do community questions. And I prefer to talk like this rather than start typing answers. I just think, you know, it's easier just to speak, isn't it? It's a lot quicker. And I think it's more it's a little more engaging. So that happened. That was on the LBank exchange Telegram thread. And then, of course, we've got the P2P, B2B exchange listing as well. It happened yesterday. So what's your thoughts about these three, you know, exchanges in the space of a weekend?
I mean, that's huge. And that makes me more bullish on it. And I know that the price is going to go up, especially as it gets listed everywhere. Do you know if they will end up doing on Hotbit, how they have like staking and everything? Will they end up doing that with LSP?
Well, I think these exchanges seem to be going that way, don't they? You know, where you can, you know, hodl certain assets on the exchange, encourage you to keep assets on the exchange. I mean, from a purist perspective, I think that's quite dangerous because we know that being on centralized exchanges, you don't have the keys to them wallets. So although you can get the gains, which is great, you have the risk of being on a centralized exchange. So I'm kind of sat in the middle, whether I think it's a good or a bad thing. I think it's probably a good thing to get you to buy assets and hodl. But then from a security perspective, I know that Hotbit had a breach, didn't they? Was it last year, this year? So, you know, for me, Hotbit is my least favorite of the three. I'm dead pleased that the team have got three exchanges, but Hotbit, what's your view on Hotbit?
Okay, so I had a huge issue with it this weekend. I had lost my butt in Emacs a while ago, right? Because I FOMO'd in at the top, and I know that there's another fight coming up. So I was like, you know what? I know that this will probably go up right before the fight. I want to throw some money in it. Again, haven't learned my lesson yet. And I could literally, the site had just been giving me issues all weekend. I couldn't do any of it. I just said, that's the universe saying, don't do it. But I do have a couple of my rare crypto staking there, but otherwise I don't use it for anything. I prefer, like, you know, some of the others that are well known and just easier to use.
Yeah, I'm exactly of the same. It's good to hear that you kind of got this. I'm the same. I've got some shit coins stashed away and like Hotbit that I'm like, I can't even be asked to like even log in to find them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if they do something, I'm kind of like, you know, when you're looking on like either Blockfolio or Delta or FTX, whatever it's called now, and you're like, whoa, it's done 300% quick login. You know what I mean? To see that, like that kind of thing. But I don't go there as a regular exchange. I'm the same as you. But I think that you know, for me, LBank was a new thing. It's not an exchange that we use here in the UK as a go-to. You know, we use other exchanges as our primary exchange. I mean, you spoke to me obviously about, you know, Coinbase and the exchanges that you kind of use as like, you know, your main exchange in the US. I know KuCoin's over that's pretty big and different ones. But yeah, LBank, I think it's big in the Asian market, but it's got a large daily volume. I don't necessarily trust centralized exchanges talking to us about their volume, because I know there's a lot of bots working, isn't there, that buy and sell and, you know, kind of create this. But it seems a professional exchange. I went on yesterday. I just did a little bit on my iPhone, and I did a little bit on the desktop version, and I thought, okay, it's pretty smooth, it's pretty clean. You know, it was relatively easy to do the KYC, get involved and everything. So I thought, okay, I'm so far a fan. They haven't let me down yet. And this other one is completely unknown as well to me. I know it's weird, but this P2P, B2B, I had not even stumbled across that until I saw it on CoinGecko a couple of weeks ago. And then we obviously got involved with it. So that was completely secretive. I only found out a couple of days ago myself from the team. So yeah, you know, where are you with, like, what would you like to see in terms of exchanges, like moving forward with Lumenswap? BitTrue.
Yes.
Okay,
BitTrue get voted on. I love BitTrue.
Do you? Is that like a one that you put your, like, you know, cash behind? Do you think it's a real, you know, good exchange for people?
I think it's a great exchange.
Brilliant. I like Ascendex. I like Ascendex. I think the old Bitmax, I think it's just got a little bit of history. It likes DeFi. Again, it's got a lot of staking things. I think, yeah, you know, as to in terms of a, you know, a medium-sized exchange, everyone's going to go Binance, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, and the Huobi and these kind of things.
I get it because a lot of people can access it and stuff, but I'm not a big Binance girl. I like KuCoin, you know, BitTrue, and some of the others. I just don't really, or I'll go to different dexes to get what I need, but I'm not big on Binance.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of maybe when people are relatively new and they know that like Binance is the big boy in the space, isn't it? And they kind of just go, when Binance? It's kind of a question that just comes up in the thread all of the time. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy. You're pretty happy. And we're both bullish on Lumenswap being on these exchanges. I think as medium-sized exchanges gives us options. And options that allow us for the arbing potential between decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges. I couldn't believe yesterday there was a whale and he was, or she, or whoever it is, was dumping LSP tokens.
I saw that.
And the price went down on the DEX to around about 6 cents. And I was just tatting around doing a video or something. And I was like, God, that's 6 cents. And at the time I had just been doing LBank video, and it was like 8.5 cents. I was like, quick, I need to get some funds into, you know, into Stellar so I can buy at the 6 cents and I can get across to LBank and so. And I managed to only do like just over $100 because I just didn't have any assets on there. So, but I took it across and did about 30% just in arbing. So, you know, the difference in that price for people to go from obviously the decentralized world, which doesn't have any correlation, to the centralized exchanges where there's a listing price. And that could be something that we look at as well with Hotbit when it lists tomorrow. Is there going to be a significant price difference in the centralized to the decentralized? And can we take advantage of that and make some gains?
That's a great idea. I don't really even think about it very much. I don't even shop around like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, well, I think with the exchanges are all going to be slightly different in like that, especially when they list. I think, you know, you get this, sometimes you get this pump, don't you, that goes up with the bots kicking in everything. You think you can make maybe a couple of $100 in just a swift. I mean, it took me about 2 minutes yesterday to make about $40. And I thought, I'll take, you know, $35, $40 in 2 minutes on based on $100 trade. Every day of the week. You know, it allows me to buy a little bit more of whatever it is, XLM, XRP, or whatever cryptos that I'm buying. So happy days, happy days. And of course, LSP, I'm always growing fat bags of that. Moving on, rewards.
Okay.
Rewards have gone out this weekend, as you know, and it totaled at the time, the price of LSP was around about 10 cents. So it totaled about $325,000, right, in how much LSP was being coughed out. Okay. So, I mean, first things first, what do you think about, like, you know, this 10-year reward schedule of, like, you know, giving out? Because this isn't just something they're doing on a monthly basis. Lumenswap are doing this every month for 10 years. You know, $325,000 a month seems like a really large amount to be given away. And I was fortunate to pick up 2 of those rewards. And I said to my wife, I said, it's crazy. I've done a bit of trading with LSP, with the XLM pair on Lumenswap. And that had amounted to 2 different wallets I'd used. One tutorial wallet I used for videos and one that is my own personal wallet. Both wallets qualified for the trading rewards. And I got like 25,000 LSP for free, for nothing, for just doing what I would normally do anyway. So, I mean, that's madness, isn't it?
You're a whale. I got like 100. Good job. I'm going to go hack your wallet.
Yeah, that's it now, tracking down. I was looking at some, let me share this with you. It's absolutely insane when you look at this, okay? So I'll share my screen, talking about rewards.
I'm excited. I can't wait to have these for 10 years. I will collect them for 10 years. You best believe.
Yeah, it's just, I couldn't believe it. I said to, like I said, I said to Kelly, my wife, like, what on earth? I've just like got this huge stack. I mean, it's worth like over a couple of $1,000. You know, I thought this is just amazing. Let's share this.
Retirement plan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is it. I mean, how many projects actually have that in there? So if we come down, can you see my screen?
I can, yes.
Right, so if we come down, this is a document that has been created by the team at Lumenswap to show every month all of the rewards, the hodler rewards. If you are holding more than 10,000 in a wallet, more than 10,000 LSP in a wallet, you will get rewarded every month. The percentage will vary. It was 1.64% of what you hold this time round, but it will vary according to the circulating supply. So that's if you don't know, if you're watching this video and you don't know, that's how it works. And then this document will reflect all of those wallets that's qualified to make it nice and transparent. But I was coming down here, right, Jay, and I come down, where was it? These are the rewards. Where is it? Down here. And there is some like
41,000.
This one here, 41,000. Right, wait for this one.
I see a lot of people just hold the 10,000 in there and they're like, yes, I'm gonna get the hundreds of rewards.
And then you look at this, there's 50,000. So this one's got a reward of 50,000, right? This one down here though, where are we? It's massive. Another 49,000. Here we go, 275,000 in reward. So I got like 25,000, which I was like, oh my God, that's like super cool. It's $2,000. This person has got 10 times, right? I'm bearing in mind, mine was from the trading side of reward. This is the hodler side, just so people don't get confused. This person has got that many LSP tokens. They've picked up like 20,000 US dollars at time of reward in a reward. I was just like, when I was scrolling through this earlier, when I was just thinking, I'll talk to you about it. I mean, that's just, mind bending, isn't it? Like the amount of crypto people have got in different projects.
He's got, that would make it 275 mil that he has, right? Or no?
Well, that's 1.64% of what he's got, isn't it? So it's like, I don't even know. My maths is, so it's more than 50 times that, isn't it? Yeah. More than 50 times that he's got. So 10 times that's 2 million, 50, I don't even know. 100 million or so, I don't know, something ridiculous.
Yeah, like 27 mil.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, he's
crazy.
I mean, this guy's doing all right.
But yeah, I mean, you come down here and you think, some of these people here are getting, like
these are
30
still
and 50,000.
Like a lot of it's still $1,000. I'm seeing like a lot of just $1,000 when you see like over 1,000 of them go. I mean,
yeah, exactly. And then you think to yourself, this is every month. So I just wanted to really highlight that, and say, this for people that really don't understand, this is going to be a document that's every month for 12 months of the year for 10 years that they're going to be getting these rewards for holding more than 10,000. Of course, 10,000 can be a lot, right? For people to buy at the minute. Let's just say it's 8 cents now. 10,000 is going to cost you $800. Not a lot of people have got $800 they want to put into LSP, but they can dollar cost average in. So they can buy a little bit here and a little bit there. And of course, I'm giving some away. You're going to talk about your meme competition in a minute and do your funny face. But no, I mean, we can not necessarily have to join this at the beginning. We can join it 3, 5, 7 months down the line and still know that we've got more than 9 years of these rewards coming. So this is just something I wanted to show people because it is pretty cool. To watch. Let me look at something else I wanted to share with you here. So like last week, I don't think we touched on it was just an introduction really. We didn't touch on the roadmap. One of the things that they were asking me today in the Ask Me Anything on LBank was, can you elaborate a little bit on the roadmap? And I just managed to just give them this link and just said to them, I'll answer questions on our own thread. But as I was going through it, I was thinking, you know something, Jen, I think this is really going to light up. You know, the more I look at it, the more I know that you're involved in like NFTs and other projects and DeFi and different networks. And, you know, when you look at this sort of stuff down here and we start getting into these farming and yield, and we get into the bridges to Binance Smart Chain. I know that you've personally been involved in Binance Smart Chain projects as well, you know, and ETH. I mean, when you see this on this roadmap that's only been released like last week or maybe 10 days ago now, you know, what's your like initial, you know, coming from your like kind of broader crypto knowledge, what's your like initial thing when you start seeing all this stuff that we're going to be releasing?
I see dollar signs.
That's a really, really good,
it's all good.
Concise answer.
And more people will start to believe and less naysayers. You know what I mean? You're always going to have people that are like, oh, it's this, it's that. But honestly, this is legit. Like, I love it. I love the transparency. I love all of this. So I just see money.
And the another interesting thing was the, you know, the little videos that you did for this, was it the Stellar Community Fund? I think it was, that you did little explainers for. When I was watching that, and I was like, oh my God, it's Jen. Like, woo! Yeah, rock and roll. But I saw that, and then I thought, that's just another thing. That's when you talk about legit. When the Stellar Community Fund, you know, you get through the initial kind of, like going for an interview, I suppose, you know, when you go for that initial interview and you pass the first stage and you go on to the next stage. Well, we've kind of passed and got down to the 33 projects, I believe now, on the, you know, for this grant, for this $100,000 we've put in for to help develop the project even faster than what we're doing here. So, I mean, that's so super, super cool that you're involved in that. And, you know, that we're looking at being one of these projects closely tied to the, you know, the whole Stellar ecosystem itself and being really integrated with them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of huge. Huge. Like, hello.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it was Jack, he's one of our resident whales. He was saying, and we'll have him on the show as well.
Okay.
But you know, he was saying, this is like the biggest news. You know, it's not the exchanges, the 3 exchanges. It's not these amazing rewards and kind of life-changing or life-altering sums of crypto that we can get just for hodling. It's like this, that we're going to be in the inclusive club, you know, as part of a Stellar network that's doing 8 million operations per day.
Yeah.
It's blasting, Stellar's blasting Bitcoin, it's blasting ETH, and we're converging into this Stellar and DeFi convergence when we open up the AMMs, you know, and we're already doing like 8,000 operations, 8 million operations per day. Right. You know, when you say dollar signs, it's gonna blow off, isn't it?
Oh my God, yes. And just like, I'm looking at NFTs on Stellar, and I really like the Stellar Punks right now. I'm looking at those. I got one, it was Ethereum based yesterday, and I can't even tell you, or 2 days ago, how much I paid in gas fees, and then to list it. And then I changed my mind and wanted to delist it. And then I first bought a fake one. You don't even know how much ETH I went through and how thankful I am for the Stellar network and just like everything that's to come. And that's why we say greatness takes time. It absolutely does.
Well, I'm singing the same hymn. I kind of try and avoid, I know that there's some super cool stuff we need to be involved in, but I try and avoid ETH wherever possible. I just think it's so, even with the, you know, the London hard fork, EIP 1559, and I know they're burning ETH now. I'm trying to bring that into like a deflationary sort of system. But I mean, the gas fees are still obscene, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Someone was saying to me, there was a fact put out on one of the Stellar threads, and I think if you hold 10, let's get this right, if you hold 10 Stellar, which is, let's just say it's 34 cents today. So you got $3.40 in Stellar. You can do 1 million operations on the network for
Isn't that
$3.40.
insane?
What?
That's insane.
It's mind-boggling. When you can't do one on F, you can do 1 million on Stellar. And it's like, you imagine when DeFi arrives, and I know there's, you know, Phantom and there's Matic and, you know, there's all these other kind of Solana's another one, and Terra ecosystem, and all these ones that are like, you know, allegedly F killers or L2s that are going to help, you know, with the gas fees on F. But there is still like 65 or 70 billion TVL on F. And that's either people that have just got too much money than sense. They're just F through and through, you know, they're maxis on F, or they don't know. And if they are in the don't know category, when we start bridging with Lumenswap from F and Binance Smart Chain across to Stellar, so that for $3.40 at current prices, they can do 1 million DeFi transactions. So they can do their NFTs, they can do their farming, they can do their staking, and it's costing them like, I mean, are you going to do 1 million transactions in a year or 5 years? Probably not. So it's like $3 is going to be, you know, doing you for, you know, however long in the future. It's just mind bending. It just really is. It's totally crazy.
It is. And like, just knowing and seeing how many bots are trying to buy up some of these NFTs to raise the floor price, I'm like, how much are these people paying just to have these bots go bid on every single one of these projects? They have way too much money. Just to send $100 the other night, it was going to cost me $50. And I was like, really? And they're like kids starving, you know what I mean? And that makes me feel horrible. That's why I feel like I could put my money in a lot better places, especially using XLM, like using a Stellar network.
Yeah, well, I think there's like, I know Lumenswap are closely associated with like Lightmint, and that's just really starting off. But I mean, I was just messing about, and I'm a really bad artist. Yeah, like way bad. But I was
Did you
messing
paint
around.
that?
What?
Did you paint that behind you?
This?
Yeah.
No, I didn't paint it. No, I wish that, well, I maybe could have got some like Bitcoin stamps and kind of over, put the bull over. Maybe I bet that's probably my limitation of what I could do. But yeah, essentially, I'm really bad. But I was making some on this on the Lightmint platform, which is like, you know, for NFTs, and you can connect up on Stellar there. And it was like, I can't even think how cheap. So what you're saying there, you know, about like $50 to send $100. I mean, for me yesterday, I was just trying to use the L Bank. So I was trying to transfer from Binance across to L Bank to get like some US dollar tether there. And if I'd chosen to use F, it was $15. So that's 15% of the $100 that I was going to send, I'd have had to pay in a fee. Yeah, or on top of. So it would have been like, you know, $15 on top of as a fee if I'd sent $100. And I just thought, that's crazy. I'm only doing this as a tutorial. And like you said, there's so many good, you know, other purposes we could put that crypto to. So whether it's NFTs, these little platforms that are popping up now, giving us options, or, you know, whether it's DeFi and you know, I think we're starting to see this forward motion of Stellar and other networks. And I think that, you know, whether those people that are on ETH are going to move across, I don't know how many of those we can attract, but I know there's going to be a large volume of people that are going to say, I'm not going to give my crypto away here for the same thing. You know, gas, NFTs, DeFi. I don't want to just give my crypto away for the sake of just sticking with ETH. If there's better options on other networks, I'm sure they'll certainly give that some thought. So, and let's just wait and see what happens in the next weeks to come, eh? Okay, definitely. And lastly, I'm going to go through. Let's stop sharing that, and let's share again. And I'll just share. If we come on to this Okay, so if I come down, I'm just going to go through. Just tell me if you can see the LBank thread here.
LSP, LBank.
Can you see the Telegram thread that I'm scrolling through?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so if we come back on this one.
I don't think John sleeps.
No, I know.
I think he is becoming a bot.
If we go
John
down, here we go, somewhere in this area. Okay. Could be two parts, right? So I just want to go through these questions that I've been asked here, because I think it's important. Those people that didn't jump across onto the the AMA, Ask Me Anything with LBank, I think it's important that we just go over the answers to these questions that I gave, so that you can pick them up on this video, or obviously, if you were on there earlier on, you'd have already heard them. So the first question that I got asked here, just a little bit about myself. Well, I did the introduction last week. I don't really need to introduce myself again, because you can go to episode 1 of the Ben and Jen's Lumenswap show and you can get it. So the first question after the introduction was, revenue is an important aspect for all projects to survive and maintain the project and the company. What is the way to generate profit and the revenue of the token? And what is the income model? So I put the Lumenswap business model here, and generation is multifaceted. Initially, we were operating the swap and spot client that had small fees attached for usage. That's not actually correct. Well, I've put that there. It's not actually correct. I wanted to correct myself there. That's absolutely free to use at the moment. What I mean by that is that as we move forward with the AMAs, the AMMs, I'll get my words out in a minute. So the automated market makers and the yield farming, there'll be fees attached to that. So I've kind of duplicated my answer there. We've seen that in all different sorts of networks where it's like a deposit fee of like 2% or 4%. And if you like pull your funds out early, you have to pay a fee. These are the fees that I'm talking about. So we've got AMMs on the horizon when voted on by the Stellar validators. They will bring liquidity to Stellar. These will be boosted by the bridges to ETH and Binance Smart Chain, right, which we are building out. Then there's the lending and borrowing client planned for early 22. So this is yet to be drawn up, but there will be charged fees for usage, right, of the lending client and the bridge. And lastly, we have the auction incubator. And what Vlad has just spoke to me about this morning, he answered the question, is there will be a fee for any projects that want to launch on our auction incubator. So there will be a fee on that, and it's likely to be a set fee, but they haven't decided what it's going to be yet. So this could be in terms of their own token. It could be a flat fee of like 3% of anything, a revenue that they earn. So that's really just to help people understand how the project is going to create revenue. Then we have another one. Community support is one of the biggest aspects, and just to really high level go over this, they've said that to most projects and programs that interact with their users, does Lumenswap have a special plan to engage and expand the community? And I've just put here community and trust, and their trust is our lifeblood, meaning, without the community and them trusting us, the project's dead before it begins, because people are going to go, you're not delivering, the development's not working, we're not getting to see any kind of roadmap progress, you're telling us lies, and then it's dead. But we're trying to do the opposite of that and give you loads of information. So here, I can't underemphasize this enough. We love our community and understand the power and support of trust, of their support and trust. We deeply value integrity, so a clear ongoing passage of information is critical from the dev side to community. We have the usual active channels, our Telegram, so you can get Lumenswap community on the Telegram. You can come and join us on Twitter as well. I make weekly explainer videos for the community on YouTube, Bullring Crypto, which this Ben and Jen's Lumenswap show is actually on there as well. And we have started a fun new crypto show called Ben and Jen's Lumenswap show, which is what we're doing now. We have regular monthly tokenomic reports, updates released via Medium. And then there's the monthly dev report highlighting the position and build of the roadmap and advancement. So that's something else for the community. And lastly, we have the Academy. We've done 2 articles, one about Stellar and one about blockchain. As we move down, the third question is, what do you think about the boom of NFT? Just so happens we've just spoke about that, so I don't really need to elaborate on DeFi and NFT. And we know that that's going to be blowing up over the next at least 6 months, I would say, running us into the early part of 2022. We're investing a lot of resources, people, time, LSP tokens, you name it, into researching what's working on Terra, F, Matic, BSC protocols and leverage them. Someone says, what makes you unique on the questions? And I think you don't necessarily need to be unique, but what you need to do is you need to extract an idea that's already happening in crypto, and then just like kind of, you know, like carpenters or someone. Exactly. Just a 5% tweak on an existing concept. You know, you don't need to come out and look at us. We are like, you know, building something brand new. You just need to tweak that thing, like Uber did with taxis, like Facebook did with data. You know, you don't actually need to be owning these things. You can just blend it a little bit, and, you know, you can have a $1 billion idea, no problem. So that's what we're doing. We're putting the resources into researching what's working and building that out. And then of course NFTs. I'm so excited about NFTs. Like I said, I'm terrible with art. I love art, but I'm terrible at actually creating it, but I appreciate it. And I think that it would be cool to have like yield bearing NFTs as official Lumenswap you know, NFTs, but they actually did something in terms of, you know, you got a bonus or a boost in some way for tokens or something like that in the future. I think it could be really, really cool. Question number 4, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you have to go with a partner. So with Lumenswap partners, you know, who will promote and help your project reach and achieve the item Pepper project. I'm not sure what the Pepper project is. I'm sure they mean like the pinnacle of where we're heading. And I've put here, we're about unity. We see ourselves as a you know, high tide, where it raises all boats. Everyone that wants to, you know, share our philosophy about giving to less fortunate people, you know, being inclusive to different nations, genders, colors, creeds, everyone's welcome, you know, to come. We work in a meritocracy type of fashion where if you can bring something to the table, if you're fun or you've got some skills, come and talk to us, because we would love to talk to you. Having that fire in your heart about Lumenswap, about XLM, about what we can do for other people, inclusive, the ones that have been, you know, chopped out of the traditional finance and banking, you know, predominantly those people. We want to help those people come into the space and enjoy some of the things such as finance, loans, you know, and all this stuff to help them grow businesses, etc. Finally, can you point to a feature you like best on the platform? And I'll just put here, I mean, we're looking at building on top of a blockchain called Pendulum. Pendulum is smart contracts. So Pendulum is going to allow us to have access to these like tokenized fiat currencies that already exist on Stellar. 16 of them exist already. So if you think about the US dollars being tokenized, we all know about USDC, USDT, and, you know, TUSD, all that stuff. But there's others, there's all different nations. Now, Stellar is all about trying to collaborate between centralized finance and decentralized finance, and building a the regulation and the bridge between the two. So I think if we can look at just the lending volume across, or the amount of lending finance across the world, it's like 65 trillion, right? 65 trillion. So with the market cap being 2 trillion for the whole of crypto, if we could take 10% of the 65 trillion that's just in the lending market, which would be 6.5 trillion, right? That is 300% on top of the whole crypto market. That's kind of like, you know, when we take a step back and look at the macro level and say, wow, it's just the space that we can move into, especially being with Stellar, which is leaning, not all the way, but leaning on the side of like the centralized world, and then leaning on the side of the decentralized world. It's an umbrella that encompasses both. And I think, you know, bringing that kind of money in is a great thing. So I just wanted to cover those as swiftly as I possibly could, because they were like questions that they put forward from their team at Bank that they wanted answering. And I think it's important that we kind of show the community, you know, what our intentions are, what kind of our answers are there. So do you have any additional points, Jen, with regard to any of that?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. You legitimately blow my mind. I'm just like, of everything that you just spouted off, like that's incredible. And that's why you're Educator Ben. I think you're doing a great job.
Educator Ben and Guardsman Ben.
Ben, the guardsman of education.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, or the gatekeeper of Lumenswap Education or something. Like, come on, we've got to come up with something. There's got to be people out there in the community that can come up with memes. It's, you know, there's going to be something, I'm quite sure. But to go to that last point, yeah, I think I'm blowing my own mind. You know, that's where I am. I'm literally like reading through stuff because I'm trying to digest and then pass that on. That's how I work. I think you learn best by teaching. So, you know, the only way, if you're going to teach something, the only way, you have to learn it yourself to teach it. So I'm like constantly pestering Vlad, who's like the CEO, and all the rest of them. Oh, can you answer these questions? Because the community need the answers and I need to learn it so I can teach it. But then when you learn it, you then blow your own mind.
Yeah.
Because then you go like, oh my God, like what have I got my hands on? And when you have certain, well, let's just say like us, that have been in the space a few years and you've got some limited knowledge, you know, that we've got. I'm humble enough to say I don't know a lot about a lot. I know a little about a lot. But when you've got that knowledge, we kind of go, whoa, and then we compare against different protocols and different projects and think, imagine if it did this, and imagine if it grew like this, and imagine if it did this. And then it gets you even more excited and you want to work harder and promote more. And yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It is. I love your energy. I just literally, it's contagious. I love it.
You'll be bouncing in to do your brows today. You'll be like, woohoo, come on, girls. We're on it today.
Do these brows, I need more LSP.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Work harder. What we actually need is like Vlad, I think he's like Russian or Ukrainian or something, yeah? And I just picture him being that typical Russian, you know, like rippling muscles, like, you must work harder, like that. So, yeah, that's what, you know, you Westerners will learn this lesson. And he has a big hammer in one thing and an anvil, you know, from the Soviet days, and he's like cracking the whip and, you know, he's going for it. But Vlad, if you're listening, no offense, it's all cool. We're just joking. But yeah, we're all working hard. We're all fired up. I hope you've enjoyed this. I haven't put Jen on the pedestal today because I knew that she got up late, so I kind of took the role. But what we're going to do is we're going to introduce guests in the next few weeks. We've got George Naylor, who's an advisor, very experienced crypto guy. He was on Sam's show. I can't think his surname. He's a influencer in the Stellar space. I should know it, but it's gone for me at the moment. But he was on Sam's show in the early days talking about Lumenswap, and he's going to join us. And then we're going to start introducing other influencers. And if you want to come on the show and you watch this show and you think it's fun, then come and be a guest, because then Jen can, you know, lead the line. I think everyone on our thread has said, we want to see Jen in the big picture and you in the small picture, Ben, preferably with some kind of like small thing covering over you, maybe like this. You know, so they're saying that they want to see more of you on the show, and that's fine. When you actually get up on time, yeah, then you come in and you take that on.
Guys, I was 3 minutes behind logging in. He is so dramatic, and I'm just gonna say that right now, Vlad. Please don't fire me. Like, I'm here.
There's going to be no firing done. We're only joking. I have this whole guards thing again, which is you have to be 5 minutes early to be 5 minutes early. So it was always, you had to be, if it was 0:00 that we had to meet 2 p.m, you'd be there at 10 to. You know, if it was 1 p.m, 10 to 1. So I have this constant thing about timing that's still ingrained into me. I can't get rid of it. I'm like, God, I'm like, punctuality for me is like just hardwired, but we're only kidding. It's been a lot of fun again, and I'm glad that we've included a lot more Lumenswap chat this time. So yeah, we need to, I think the best way of doing the, let's just flip across here. Let's stop showing this just to finalize, because I know you've got the school run. But if we go across onto Jen's without messages, let's move those out of the way. We want to go back. Okay, so this is Jen's Twitter. Okay, so go and give her a follow if you're watching this and you don't follow her already. Loads of decent content, as you can see. She's got far more professional partners than myself here with his sign on his chest, yeah, with his XRP t-shirt. I much prefer, oh, hang on a second. Let's make sure that I'm sharing this.
Handmade by self.
Yeah, let's make sure that they share screen.
So now it's my mission to arrive 5 minutes early for you, because I know how your brain is wired, my friend.
But I know that you're a night owl like me, which means that you probably put your daughter to bed and then you're like, right, get my fix on Twitter, do 3 different videos, you know, look on different exchanges, and it gets addictive. I'm with you. I'm with you. Believe me, I'm, you know, late out of bed most days. So you can hopefully see, can you see your Twitter now?
I can see my Twitter.
Brilliant. I can see my Twitter. Oh, your English accent is amazing. You don't want to hear my American one? Hey, man. Anyway, okay, joking aside, if you don't already follow Jen, get across and follow her. Yeah, she's got far more interesting content than me. She has these great Q&As and she does Clubhouse stuff, and all of the stuff that she does is all published here, and you can see that she's far more professional than me in doing these kind of videos. And if we come down here, you will see that we go into this little, when we August the 31st, we've got this little competition, which is, right, to make a meme, a guardsman meme. If you don't know what a guardsman is, it's one of the guys that stands outside Buckingham Palace with a funny hat on. You make a meme if you make a meme and you put it underneath this post, or you send it to Jen, whatever you want to do, right? Then she will pick her favorite 3, right? So she'll narrow it down, and then you, the community, will vote on that. And when you guys vote on that, then there'll be a winner, and that winner is going to get 2,000 LSP from me. Okay, so you can get your head start into the 10K hodlers club that we spoke about in this episode. So that's pretty cool. So have a look at that. You know, and we'll leave that open for a little while. Let's leave it open until maybe the next time that we do a show. Shall we do that?
I think we should. And let people's wheels spin, because they're like, guardsmen, that's not like haha funny. However, what is funny are those videos that you showed me of people like doing things to the guards that are like really raunchy and stuff. And I think that was hilarious. And I can only just picture, I would love to have been like a person, one of the Americans just doing that to you. Like,
I think what we should actually, I think what we should do, because you set ideas in my creative mind. Okay. I think we should actually we should do a crowdfund to send you and your daughter to London so you can do the raunchy things to the guardsmen in your LSP
I
top.
I love that. That would make my life. That is bucket list.
Oh, there we go. I'll tell you what, you watch. People watch this, go, I'm in.
Send me to England.
Jen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I know you've got a dash off for your daughter. Have a wonderful day, yeah? And we'll hook up sometime in the week with regards to just having a catch up and a little chit chat and stuff like that. I hope to catch you on Clubhouse. Guys, if you haven't got over there, jump over onto Jenna's Twitter and have lots of fun. See you later.
Thank you. See you, Ben.
Bye-bye.